What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mikey Lopez here with another shoe unboxing. Sorry, I'm sorry if I sound a little weird. I'm a little sick right now. But yeah, let's get to it. So here I have a pair of Diadora Calcio. They are the Maximus Veloce ITA SLX, the size 9. I don't know if you can see that. Color is red, white, and black, so we'll see how that looks. Ideally, those are good colors for me. I do like red, white, and black. I think that's a good, solid color combo. So we'll see how they look on the boot. But so here is the unboxing. Pretty cool slide out box. Interesting details on the sides of the box. They're in there. Comes with a nice bag. Seems like it's not like those Nike bags where it's like kind of plasticky. It's more, I don't know the material, but it's like a little, I guess you could say a little bit more higher quality. But so it's nice that they gave us a bag with these boots. And here's the boot. It's not bad. It's a pretty loud looking boot, which is good. I do prefer a loud looking boot. I'm not one for like solid dark colors, but this one looks nice. It says that the boot is premium grain leather, but with a combination of some like weather tech on it, some weatherproofing on it. And I guess I can kind of feel the weatherproofing because it doesn't feel like a actual, just like a purely leather boot. Just because the material doesn't feel like super soft. Take out the paper. It's a stiff boot, very stiff actually, very rigid. Jesus. The back has some like microfiber-y type material here in the heel. Some microfiber inside the heel. Pretty light, I would say. Let me take this thing off, it's kind of annoying me. Get the other one out. So yeah, it's a really stiff boot, pretty light. Everything feels hard. It doesn't feel like I said, it doesn't really feel like a premium leather the way it suggests, just because the feeling just feels really stiff, and like usually leather feels pretty soft, especially like right out the box. But yeah, like I said, so microfiber all kind of in the inside, so you can kind of reduce the amount of slippage. Let's see, nothing crazy about the insole. Pretty standard, I would say. Like really thin, not too much cushion. The inside of the boot isn't anything crazy. There's no like carbon fiber or anything of that sort, just plain white. Put that back in there. It's interesting because it does say like it's a premium leather type boot. It doesn't really scream like high quality. It's kind of leather here in the forefoot, kind of midfoot, kind of going back to the heels, kind of more plasticky, probably just to reduce the weight of the boot, especially on the outside, the lateral part. This is plastic, and the medial part you can kind of see how this kind of leather kind of comes up here. The shape on the heel right here, we'll see how it fits, but just like seeing it visually just doesn't say that. It doesn't look like it's gonna be really comfortable. It looks like this part's gonna be digging into the Achilles, especially on my left Achilles, which is, as if y'all seen my previous videos, y'all know that my left Achilles is very fat. So we'll see how comfortable they are, but just touching it in first impressions, it doesn't seem like it'll be all that comfortable, especially just because of the shape of the heel. The studs itself, the sole plate, conical studs, pretty standard, I guess. Nothing too crazy, nothing fancy. There's a lot of conical studs, which is could be good for like places like we play on turf, so that could be good on that. Um, I'm not really huge on conical studs, just because I like the aggressiveness of the bladed studs on like the vapors or even the Sakitos that I've had. They're kind of more blades rather than conical. I think I need to revisit that, but yeah, we'll see how good this traction performs on the turf. You can see it has like the three little bolts up here. Like it's screwed in or tapped in. But yeah, like I said, nothing too crazy. Like the Vapor where it has an air zoom, or the Adidas where it has like the pockets for the sprint frame. Yeah, very rigid. This seems really rigid, which, as I've mentioned, I think in the Sakito unboxing, I do prefer a rigid sole plate just because it feels more stable to me when against tackles, and I think a more rigid sole plate gives the energy back. So we'll see how that is. But yeah, so here are the Diadoras. What are they called again? The Maximus Veloce Italia SLX. It's a nice looking boot. The colors are kind of crazy. It's a different looking boot than to what I'm kind of used to, but again, it's a premium boot. It's a premium leather boot. Sorry, and Diadora is kind of, they had a big market share back in the day, and I think they're trying to kind of bring that back by kind of changing their style of boots and not being so traditional in a sense. So we'll see how they fit in a little bit. I'll put them on for you guys and see how they fit on me. Yeah, here's the boots, and I'll be testing these out in the next week or so whenever we have more days of training, just because we've been on the road playing a lot of games this past week, and it's another short week this week, and we have another Open Cup game next midweek. So I'll try and I don't think I'll be using these in games anytime soon. I would definitely need to break them in before I can even think about playing in games, because as I said, they are pretty stiff. But I will put them on here in a second and let you guys know what they feel like on feet. All right, and I'm back. As you can see, I have my trusty tape design socks in navy this time. I'm gonna need to break them out for our games. That now we have green and navy socks. But yeah, super comfortable. I highly recommend these socks because I just love them and they last a long time, and yeah, extremely comfortable. So let's see if I can get my feet into these boots. I did fail to mention that I am normally a 9.5 and these are 9. So I think what seems like Diadora's run big, so that's why I went half a size down. And in case you guys are interested in getting some Diadoras, I would recommend going half a size down. And it's a little hard to get in. Yeah, there it is. Very tight. The toe box seems pretty shallow. My toes are not all the way to the very top, but pretty close. There's a little bit, probably like a pinky's worth of space, but my feet feel just kind of crammed in. I haven't tied them, obviously, as you can see, I haven't tied my boots. And this part on the lateral side just feels like it's digging into my ankle. So this little plasticky bit with the microfiber here is just digging into my ankle. Kind of uncomfortable. Heel. Let me see, turn it around. The inside liner, like right around here, like I told you guys, it has a microfiber liner inside. I can already kind of feel like I might get a blister in these. Thankfully, I take my ankle, so hopefully that'll mitigate that. But yeah, it just, I don't know, man. They're made in Italy, and usually made in Italy boots are like super high quality leather and super soft. And I remember a few of my teammates when I was growing up had a pair of Diadoras, and I know a couple guys when I was when I was beginning my professional career, had Diadora Diadora deals and stuff. So they've been around for a while, and I remember how like cool and kind of comfortable they were or looked. And these are kind of stiff and just kind of a little uncomfortable right now. I feel a lot of stud pressure on this lateral stud, kind of on the the outside of my feet, on both sides of my feet. It's not just on one. Maybe it seems like my foot is maybe a little too wide for these boots, which is strange, especially since it's a leather boot, and leather tends to be more so for wider feet. Not saying, I mean, I don't, I feel like I have a, yeah, I feel like do have like a little wider feet, but I mean, my feet fit fine in Vapors, which are normally for more narrow feet. Let me tie it up. Everything about this boot is just like pretty stiff. It's kind of crazy how stiff everything is. The materials here on the laces just feel stiff. But maybe once I break them in, maybe they'll soften up and everything will be good. It's just initial reactions to putting on these boots on my feet they're a little tight, a little stiff, pretty, yeah, stiff is probably the best word for it. Let's see. Sorry, don't like when some of my laces are not all the way tight. Pretty cool little, the lacelets are one green, one red to represent the Italian flag. I'm starting to feel a little bit of stud. Yeah, still that this lateral stud is like kind of digging into my foot, and the outside just really kind of just discomfort right now. I'm sure that'll go away. My toes, like I said, they're not all the way to the top, but they feel like kind of not able to extend, and I'm sure that'll soften up once I break them in. We'll see. I mean, looking down on my feet, I may be wrong about this colorway. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I'd feel plain. Sometimes I like looking down on my feet and like seeing my boots and making sure like the boots look good and And I don't know, somehow I do not get that cool looking factor right now. But I might just be in my own head right now. This the heel part actually doesn't dig in too much. I know it looks like that, but it's not really noticeable, so that's kind of good. But this part really sucks. This outside part really digs into my ankles. And yeah, so these are the Maximus Veloce Italia SLX on feet. A little tight, a little pressure here, both sides. Very stiff, but we'll see how they work on the field. So yeah, I will be coming out with my 2-week review of the Soquito, hopefully this week. Really enjoyed those, and I will come out with a different video in a few weeks or so after I get to use these on the field. Hopefully they work well. Hopefully I am able to train them, because if I have a couple of bad trainings, in these, I'll probably not wear them again. So hopefully training goes well with these. But anyway, until next time, talk to you later. See you guys. Bye.